welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. I hope you all had a wonderful Monday. It's been pretty quiet in terms of the news department, but there are some updates and a pretty awesome trend that event that happened today involving Deathstroke. A lot of people came out in support of that. It was awesome. It was so awesome to see, and we'll get into that in a little bit in a moment. But the first things first, the first topic of the day is going to be about Ghostbusters. Okay, Eric Davis says, cool news. Bill Murray confirms Dr. Peter Venkman is back in the Ghostbusters Afterlife and that he will once again wear the... Oops, can't see my face. Wear the iconic proton pack. They've delayed it for a year or a year and a half, but I'm glad they did. It will be worth seeing in theaters 11/11. Here's the full link. Details a 90-minute conversation with Murray as part of the Santa Barbara International Film Festival. You know, in the other Ghostbusters reboot, yeah, I mean, he was a bad guy in that, and he died in that, and really it was just like they were cameos, not an actual homage to them. You know, no respect for those characters in a way, right? But I'm glad that he's back in this, and I'm glad they're probably going to be respected, and they are going to play their characters. They're not some taxi driver or something like that. It's like they're actually going to play those characters, which I'm really I'm happy for. So that would give me, you know, my childhood dreams come true. Really, for an actual Ghostbusters sequel. Yes, so Ghostbusters Afterlife. Can't wait for that one. All right, next up is Mortal Kombat. Okay, the Mortal Kombat cast, and they put the K instead of the C, clever, is a truly global and diverse group bringing your champions to life. See it on the big screen in theaters and streaming on HBO Max April 23rd. Available on HBO Max in the US only for 31 days and no extra costs. So this is just pretty much a little preview of the cast that, you know, I'll link so you can see it, but you can probably see it on this tweet here, and it's also online on YouTube. Whoa, this movie looks beautiful, and actually there's going to be a lot of action in it as well. I'm looking forward to the fights, and I think this is what they're trying to tell us, is that the fights is the thing that you'd want to watch this, and of course it is, because it's Mortal Kombat. And so that's why I'm like, you know, a lot of people were talking about, you know, yeah, it's less than 2 hours. But in certain cases, a movie like, you know, Mortal Kombat maybe doesn't need to be very long. You know, I think maybe 2 hours could definitely work for that, right? I mean, didn't the first Mortal Kombat come out in under 2 hours? And I certainly liked it, although now I'm, you know, realizing that, like, at that time, critics and other audiences didn't quite like it, and I was like, really? Maybe because I grew up with it, and that's why, in terms of nostalgia, I really liked the first Mortal Kombat movie. I don't know, but this looks awesome. The special effects is definitely there, way better than the first one. It looks grand. It looks, you know, they're saying there's gonna be some emotional pull in here. I don't know if they can. They always say that it's gonna, like, you know, have some emotions and stuff, and to a certain effect they can be, but for the most part, I think we are definitely in for a fun martial arts action ride that is the closest thing you'll see to the video games than before. And so I think that would be crazy cool, especially the fatalities and stuff like that. So I think as a Mortal Kombat fan, and possibly just like a, you know, a martial arts action movie fan, you'll probably get a lot from this, and it'll probably be very fun and entertaining to watch this coming April 23rd. So that's pretty cool. All right. Well, there was another fun thing that came out, and that was Godzilla vs. Kong. Well, Inside HBO Max is saying that while Godzilla vs. Kong reigned supreme as the #1 film on HBO Max last week, 3 other MonsterVerse movies also hit the top 10 for week ending April 4th. King of the Monsters, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla 2014. Godzilla vs. Kong will be available on HBO Max through April 30th in the US, included at no additional cost to subscribers. So if you want to, you know, keep watching that movie, it's not going to be available for a long, just one month, and you can watch that. And I'm not surprised that a lot of people went to watch Godzilla King of the Monsters, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla 2014 to catch up on the MonsterVerse and figure out like what's happening there, what's going on, right? So I'm not surprised by that. But I'm surprised that Inside HBO Max did not even say anything about Zack Snyder's Justice League, though. Like they went out of their way, and rightfully so, to talk about Tina Turner being like 1.1 million views on HBO Max, and then there was a whole bunch of promotions and stuff. They totally skipped over Zack Snyder's Justice League before that, and actually went up and said, oh, HBO Max reigns supreme as the #1 film on HBO Max. So no numbers though, but I mean, I'm like, where is the? It's like they want to ignore that one movie that came out. Like, what happened to that one? Why aren't you talking about that? Like, at least tell us. Like, even if it's bad numbers, like, and I don't think it's bad numbers. I think it's really good, and that's why they're not showing it. But if it's bad, they would show it. I mean, if it's bad and they want to really take it down a notch, they would definitely show it. But they didn't. They're not. I don't know why. It seems so easy, just like right here, Godzilla vs. Kong. For this week, of course, that's the one thing everybody went to watch. Like every week, there's like a new movie they're gonna go and watch it. So, what's the big deal? Throw out the numbers. Let's see it. Let's see what are you afraid of, right? But congratulations to Godzilla vs. Kong, indeed. This little article here, I'm not going to really read it, but I read it, and it talks about Godzilla vs. Kong is a box office and HBO Max hit. Will it shake up the future of movie going? So it did about 300 million worldwide right now, which is not that great in terms of when in a regular movie business type world, but this is not a regular type world right now. It's the COVID world, and so they're definitely it's acceptable, and in fact, it's the best one out since COVID struck. So that's something I guess they could champion for. But also incredible that it actually made domestically more than Godzilla King of the Monsters, which was, not is before COVID, right? So that is definitely something that they can look at. But the main focus of this article is that, okay, it came out in theaters and on HBO Max. It was a hit for both. But did one take away from the other? And I'm like, yeah, it probably did. Like, if they weren't able to watch in theaters, they watched on HBO Max. Or if they were able to watch it in theaters, but they decide to watch on HBO Max, that obviously took the money away from the box office. That's just how it went. But what will be, because it was successful on both, I mean, I think the box office would have been higher if it didn't go on HBO Max. Right? I mean, and if it didn't go on theaters, it would have been higher HBO Max. So it's an interesting situation. What will come from this? Like, what will the studios and the businesses, even other studios, see this and say, what do we do? It seems successful, but successful on both sides, streaming and in theaters. Do we fork out to more, put it in more in theaters and leave it? I mean, they're definitely going to do that next year, but it's an interesting conversation and something that they'll probably read and say, you know what, I don't know what the future of the film business would be, because it did both. It did well on both sides. Obviously, I think it costs less money to put it out on HBO Max than in the box office, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. But will they continue the MonsterVerse? I think, like, at one point in time, I think they weren't going to, and Godzilla vs. Kong was to be the end of it because the MonsterVerse movies were going downhill. But now this, it kind of shot up. It did better than the last one, and it kind of probably makes them wonder, even Legendary's like, well, I think we can make another one, right? I think we can make another one, hopefully, and I hope so, because the MonsterVerse is really cool and awesome to see, like, really modern kaiju films. I would love that. And so, but will it be streaming or theatrical? We'll have to wait and see in terms of what they want to do. Warner Bros. Said they're going to go back to the theatrical with the 45 days, and then it goes on HBO Max. But, Legendary is going to make it now, and we'll see if they still are happy with Warner Brothers, or will they, and this should make them happy, I think. They also got a payout, too, so I don't know. Legendary is interesting, so let's see what happens with that. All right. let's move on from Godzilla vs. Kong into something that really trended today. Oh, before I get into that. So, what are you doing, Dave? What is this? He likes to throw this out once in a while, not this in particular, but like a picture and image with nothing to say. And usually like 3 or 4 or 5 months later, he'll retweet it again and says, I told you so. So like, what is this? What is going on? What do you know? That's Batgirl. That's definitely Batgirl. Is this in regards to Zack Snyder's Justice League? Perhaps, maybe Barbara Gordon was going to be in Justice League, right? They would have had a Barbara Gordon in Justice League 3 or something, like the ending part, like they mentioned that in the storyboards. But there also is a Batgirl in Deathstroke, and that's why I put this here. I meant to do that. Right? Deathstroke, in the Deathstroke movie, Batgirl was supposed to be in there. And Joe Manganiello joined everyone today in tweeting out hashtag Deathstroke HBO Max, which, by the way, got up to 100,000 tweets today, where he even retweeted like IGN saying, "Would you watch a Deathstroke series?" His own wife says Deathstroke HBO Max. And this was what he repeated articles of Deathstroke HBO Max. Rob Keyes, a lot of retweets in terms of Deathstroke on HBO Max, and which is really awesome. Also, JusticeCon 2021. We're announcing that excited to announce a new guest for JusticeCon 2021, April 17th, 2021, is Joe Manganiello himself, the Terminator. Deathstroke himself is gonna be on JusticeCon. So awesome. I mean, come on. You got a star that wants Deathstroke at HBO Max, and oh, do you like my tweet? How about so I tweeted this out. How about a low-budget, high-octane action movie like The Raid, but get this, with Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke? Well, Jason Kyler and Casey Bloys, how about it? So yeah, I pulled up a clip from The Raid, and I put this, but Deathstroke HBO Max, and that's because he, Joe himself, right? He had worked with Gareth Evans to try to put this together, but they said no. But it doesn't mean that there's no hope for it. I'm trying to find there was one. Hey, like Film Junkie's tweet as well. I could have sworn there was a 100K tweet here somewhere. Anyway, here's your proof. Deathstroke HBO Max, 100K tweets. There you go. There you have it. That's awesome. As of this video, 100,000 tweets. Congratulations. Hopefully that got their attention. I mean, they didn't say anything about Restore the Snyderverse, which was 1.5 million tweets, but this is 100K tweets. We had 180 on the Restore the Snyderverse again on Sunday, and at 15,000 tweets, Legendary says continue the Monsterverse. How you like that? It's so weird, right? I mean, damn. Like, what the hell? I mean, I really want to see a Deathstroke a series, and I don't think it's not that expensive. Like the Raid. Okay, the first Raid that was made for $1 million. $1 million budget. Raid 2 was like $4.4 million. What else? Deadpool is like 40 something million. And you think of series, right? If you think of series, Netflix, Daredevil. Right, or even all the Netflix, Marvel series, right? They made pretty much low budget. All together, the total cost of them all together was $200 million. That means there were 6 seasons of those. That means each season, like Daredevil season 1, cost only $40 million. That's low. That's as low budget as you can get in terms of series, right? And so that should be a really no-brainer at this point. I mean, a no-brainer. If you're thinking about budgets and things like that, Deathstroke would be pretty damn easy to get out. You get Gareth Evans, you make the Ray style, all practical, martial arts, extravaganza. It's a fucking no-brainer. I don't understand. So it's like a no-brainer at this point. People obviously want to see it. Joe is obviously very passionate about it. He wants it. He wants it really bad. He's talking about it on every show he's been on, including Entertainment Tonight. So it definitely would be incredibly smart, and financially smart to invest in Deathstroke HBO Max and get more people to subscribe to HBO Max and watch HBO Max. I think this is content that you in dire need of after all the movies are going back to theaters next year. So hopefully they're listening to this, and I think it really makes absolute sense, budget wise and everything. The actors there, they could make it small, they could make it compact, but make it incredibly glorious for chump change, really. And I don't know, it just makes sense to me. I don't know why they're not doing it yet, but hopefully we find out a little bit more soon. But crossing your fingers. But yeah, so I wanted to do that actually afterwards, but I saw the tweet. Justice Con 2021, indeed. All right, well, let's get into Zack Snyder's Justice League now. There's a new display at the AT&T District in Dallas, at the Zack Snyder's Justice League Museum. So that's cool to see that they're actually adding more stuff to it. They're not, taking it down. They actually added another giant mural here, this wall here, 2 walls actually, for Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is really cool. It does go to show that AT&T, at least that company is having a lot of faith in it and are excited about it. They're the ones that offered Zack to put the Nightmare exhibit up for people to look at, and I think that's pretty cool of them to do. So that's a great thing to see there. Now this is interesting. This was, April Fool's Day, but probably the night before as well, when the artist, and has deleted his account for some reason or that tweet, but this was revealed, and I talked about it, that there was a John Stewart Green Lantern design that came out, and he looks fantastic, it looks great, but there was always like, well, who's the actor, who's playing him, right? And according to Walt, Uber Kryptonian, he says that based on concept art from Zack Snyder's Justice League, it appears that the Wayne T. Carr was cast as Green Lantern John Stewart. This means he would have made his big screen debut as Green Lantern if Warner Brothers didn't tell Snyder to remove Green Lanterns from the film. And so this is Wayne T. Carr. This is what he looks like. Apparently he's like a stage, he's a teacher or something. He's like a stage actor as well. And here he is actually with Ray Fisher. So here's Ray Fisher, and here he is with Ray Fisher. And that makes sense. And Ray also follows him, apparently. So he's an actor, director, teacher. So that's kind of cool. Look at that. Dave the Film Junkie follows him. That's Dave. Not that giveaway now, but but anyway, so Wayne T. Carr, maybe John Stewart, and I like it. It's like a relatively unknown to me, because I don't know who Wayne T. Carr is, but that's great to see that Zack, like Ray Fisher, is bringing up these up and comers, or making them be the new up and comers, right? Giving them a solid chance at big roles, and that's really awesome to see. You don't have to be going after people, actors that we all know, and definitely not the ones that because fan cast, you always pick the people that are really already out there, right? But Zack always has an eye for casting people, and even like Ray Porter, just hearing his voice is like, that's my dark side. He saw him, probably, I don't know where he saw him, but he probably saw him as, you'll be my John Stewart, just like how he saw Ray Fisher in that show that he was it in the stage or a show? I forgot where he picked him up from, but that's really awesome to hear. That's really awesome to see if this is true. And I hope it's true, because he looks pretty it does look like him. It does look like him. I mean, it does. So Wayne T. Carr as the Green Lantern John Stewart. Wow, what a missed opportunity. If he shot him, if they actually had him in the suit and everything, Oh man, I want to see that. Like, I want to see that. That would be pretty. That would be pretty sweet. That'd be huge. That'd be huge. That they had a Green Lantern, John Stewart. Essentially the first live, yeah, the first live action John Stewart on the big screen, and they took him out. Like, what? Like, why would you do that? If this was a cul-de-sac, if this was going to lead to nowhere, then why didn't you just let Zack do his thing, right? So, what are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? But, yeah, he looks amazing. This looks amazing. I want to see a live action version of it. To even a little bit, to add to this whole thing, is that not only, Walt said that, and a whole bunch of other people said that. I don't know where they're getting this from. But Wayne T. Carr joined Twitter, like, I think today, and he posted this. Restore the Snyderverse, Wayne T. Carr. I mean, yeah, he just started. I should follow him. You never know. I'm going to follow him. Art director, teacher. That's got to be him. He said, restore the Snyderverse. Added to the... So you're like, wait, okay. This is one of those Sam Benjamin situations. Like, I don't know, but he does look like him. And he also has an Instagram account that is his official account with his IMDb. And obviously he's followed by Dave Avery too. So I started following. Ray Fisher follows him. And he goes, restore the Snyderverse. I don't know. I think he's our John Stewart. I think he's our Green Lantern, which would be awesome. I would love to see if he was in the suit or not, or he was just, in talks to be. But I would have, damn, I think he was going to have the opportunity of a lifetime. And that doesn't come by so often. It always goes to all these, like, actors that have been in a lot of movies. Oh, well, maybe superhero movies, they like to get actors that haven't been around them so that you kind of, they become that character. And I can totally see, Wayne T. Carr become that Green Lantern character. It looks like everybody else thinks so as well. It's got the green heart here. So Wayne T. Carr, I want to see him in a suit. If he's truly Green Lantern John Stewart, I want to see him in the suit. I really do. Let's do it. Yes. He wants to restore the Snyderverse too. And when we do, we're going to see him in a suit. We're going to see him as Green Lantern John Stewart. The first live action John Stewart, guys. We got him. We got him. He's coming. Yes. So, yeah. So anyway. So that's Wayne T. Carr. Hopefully, John Stewart and Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now, this is interesting. Greg Silverman retweeted this person here. Andy Kleinman, entrepreneur, executive, not sure who he is, a film producer. He says, between the lack of new Marvel DC releases, the pandemic, and the new cuts of Batman v Superman and Justice League, I have a newfound appreciation for Zack Snyder and what he did here. I also love Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne. Cheesiness aside, I would watch more of it. Thank you. Restore the Snyderverse indeed, Andy. Thank you very much for tweeting that out. That was on April 2nd. But Greg Silverman, former CEO for Warner Brothers, says, welcome. Right? Former executive of Warner Brothers before Kevin Tsujihara, kicked them out and brought in Toby Emmerich. Greg Silverman retweeted that, welcome, meaning because he was involved. He was actually very much one of the people that was involved in getting us Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. So definitely that was something that we think is the right decision. So, sorry, I thought I heard something. But a little bit more. I started looking at all the things he's liking and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, what is this? He actually liked this tweet today. Restore, I don't know what this says. Flash estas bien necessid. I don't know what that means. Restore the Snyderverse. Hashtag Toby Emmerich should be fired. Greg Silverman was right and he liked that. That's hilarious. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh man, yeah. But yeah, that's hilarious to see. Um, Toby Emmerich should be fired. Wow, wow. I don't know if I don't know if he knows if there's something going on over there with the Toby Emmerich, and he's like one of the last remaining um, executives from the time, and obviously I already showed you that he lied on the Hollywood Reporter talking about Zack Snyder's work and stuff like that, that it would not, have very little changes. They won't add anybody. They don't, take it out and stuff like that. So, but, um, I'm wondering. So, Grace Randolph said this as I close this out. Keep an eye on the Hollywood Reporter. There's a very, very big report coming, imminent. Now, she wants to say it's not a news story, it's an expose. You will definitely be interested. Expose on what? And you can go to bed tomorrow, actually. So Tuesday, there is going to be a big report or big expose from the Hollywood Reporter. And I'm like, in regards to what and who? Like, who are we exposing? Or what is being exposed? And does this have to do with anything with Justice League? I know she was kind of hinting at there was going to be something, and I think this may be it. And I'm curious to what will come of this. Obviously, like, I'm wondering if it's good news. Like, is it going to be another hit piece, or is it going to be because we're in dire need of good news lately, right? I mean, yeah, we're in dire need of good news. I'm obviously, and I'm in dire need of good news. You just need a little bit of good news to get your day going, right? So hopefully this is it. But I can't imagine what it will be. And by the time you watch this, it may have already come out, and could be. But looking out around, Dave the Film Junkie retweeted this, and I know he knows something. Look at that smile. That's not him smiling. But look at that smile. It's got to be good news. And hey, it might not be something about Restore the Snyderverse. Obviously, it's not a report, and it's an expose. Maybe it's something from, Justice League investigation. Maybe some more skeletons in closets are being exposed. Like, I don't know. Like, I really don't know. But I'm just guessing that it has to be something good. It has to be something that is like that. And I just cannot... I can't wait. I can't wait for that. We just need a little bit oomph, just a little bit of fuel, a little bit of sugar, just to keep our days going, as we continue to fight to restore the Snyderverse, as we absolutely continue to fight restore the Snyderverse. So that is that. So, but before I get into the members' comments and question, I just want to say this. One thing, where they're I had a comment on the live chat, and I kind of got a little upset because it brings back all these memories about how during the release of Snyder Cut, right, they were saying that you're ungrateful fans, and I'm like, wow, ungrateful fans, I don't think so. Because we are consumers. We are definitely consumers for this. And these companies are making consumer products. They're trying to find, I've been saying before, they're trying to find that thing that consumers want because they want to make it. And it costs money. It also costs money for us to watch it. It's not free to us. We're paying to see this stuff. We're paying customers. We're absolutely. And so as a consumer, you have every right to demand for a product that can be available, that people are willing to make, right? And you're asking them to invest in it, right? In fact, if you own AT&T stock, You're pretty much a part of that company. And yes, I admit, I do own a little bit of that stock. So as an investor, a shareholder myself, I'm voting to restore the Snyderverse because that would actually make more profit for the company. And everybody can buy shares. It's like $30 a share, so you can buy like a few shares, and for less than $100, and you can be a certain percentage of company, right? So it's not bad. $30 a share, be a part of that. Maybe that's why everybody should invest, maybe at least a share in it, and be able to vote. You're telling them you're an investor, right? But not only that, for people who are not even invested, you're a consumer. You're a consumer for a product. You're there to buy. To buy product from a corporate company that is paying to make said product. So no, you're not an ungrateful fan. You're a paying customer, and the way you can actually realize that, the better off you can being confident in asking for a product, right? Asking for this. And it's not like we're asking for something that never was talked about, not even thought of. It's not like I'm going to be asking like, hey, I'm not going to pay for anything unless you give me some Dragon Ball versus Superman movie that you never even thought of making, right? Though that would be cool, but I understand there's nobody asking for that. There's nobody willing to make that movie. There's no creator that says I'm gonna make that movie. So okay, hashtag Dragon Ball versus Superman movie. And that would whatever. But this is obviously, my light just turned off. I don't know why. But obviously, like absolutely something that people absolutely want. 1.5 million tweets. 1.5 million tweets, people watch it. There are HBO Max numbers that they're not sharing. They're sharing everything else. So if it was bad, share it. Tell us if it was bad. But you're not telling if it's bad. So it must be good. That's obviously what I'm thinking here. It must be good. So why aren't you sharing it? Why aren't you doing that, right? And so we're willing to pay for a product. Obviously, the creators and the actors are willing to make that product. They just need the support from the corporate company that is willing to invest in so product that will make money for yourselves by us giving you that profit. We are the ones giving you that profit. We're giving you the money for it. This is my wallet. This is my wallet right here. Yes, it's the Man of Steel one. I've got some cash in here. I'm willing to pocket forth. I'm willing to fork out fucking money to get that product. Yes, we are consumers. We have every fucking right as consumers to demand for a product we are willing to pay for, and it does seem like the world is willing to want to see it as well. Is a product that has a demand. It's like it's not a zero demand. There is a demand for it, and you are literally throwing that away to make other things and force us to want to watch that instead. I'm going to watch that too, but I'm also going to want to watch this other thing, right? And being the multiverse, there should be no excuse why you can't do both. We can't offer both, right? So that's all I'm pretty much going to say about that. But it really irks me when people says, you're just an ungrateful fan. You're just like... I'm not asking to redo season 8 of Game of Thrones. That came out, and the director already did that, right? That's it doesn't make sense. So, but anyway, definitely we are consumers. We can demand a product. It's okay to demand a product. You were invested into the company. You're offering the money for it. There is a straight up demand for it. It should be a absolutely no-brainer at this point. Of course, ego, their own ego really gets in the way of progress, right? Ego, pride sometimes gets in the way of progress. You have to be humble. A lot of times you have to be humble. And I like Legendary. Legendary, after only 15,000 tweets, they go, hashtag continue the monsters. Like, they're in it. They see the hype. Like, they didn't even have to go to 1.5 million. They see the hype. They know people. They're just like, oh, there's a customer fan base here. Oh shit. I guess we will continue the MonsterVerse, and I hope they do. And congratulations to the MonsterVerse fans, including myself. Yes, I think they are already going to make it. I think they are. I don't know what they're going to do, but I think they are. And so hopefully the Snyderverse will continue as well. All right, sorry for that. Let's get into the members' comments and questions now. So I turn that on here. Here we go. Oh, Justin laughed at I put Zack Snyder as over the ramble. The person in the open Kryptonian pod is obviously Mephisto. Just kidding. I think the theory Kara turned Granny Goodness would be cool. Would have seen Kara under Darkseid in one of the animated movies. Yeah. So anyway, but that's hilarious. I still remember all the tweets and the theories and WandaVision that it's going to be Mephisto and stuff like that, and really actually hyping it up, and it turned out to be nothing. Ralph Boner. Andy Muschietti follows Gal and Jason on IG. It might be recent too. Could be. Like, he could just try to throw all the cameos in there. It could be like they're really trying to do that. I don't know. Some people have said that it's their way of saying, like, this universe is going to be deleted in that movie, which would suck so bad. But anyway, all those theaters are at a reduced capacity, of course. Yeah. Space. I've never been to a theater since the pandemic, so I don't know what that actually looks like. I think you still have to wear a mask. You can't eat popcorn or something. Damn. Not the same situation as Justice League is what I meant. I totally get seeing a pattern there with John C. Henwick Reddick being cut or reduced to a very little and Justice League. Yeah, I mean, they were the only ones cut. Like, big name actors. Not only they were big name actors, because they were actually more big name than, the one in Zack Snyder's Justice League, but pivotal moments in the movie that would have added context to things, and also connections to the previous movie. Like, Zhang Ziyi could have actually stayed in there, because it really set up that she was like part of Monarch, right? They're the twins. And Lance Reddick, like, yeah, he was in the movie, but he was like off to the side. And I know there was like a behind the scenes that was reeled, and Sam Parker actually showed it to me. And it actually showed my H3, not my H3, but the H3 in Hawaii, that they closed off for like days, and to make it look like it was a Monarch base. And it looked really cool. Look, all that money wasted, right? All that money wasted. Only 3 times I'm in the double digits. Cool. LOL, I'm watching right now with my morning coffee. Well, hope you enjoyed your morning coffee, and thanks for joining in. Army of the Dead in the theaters, Irishman style, excellent. Now, here's to an IMAX Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yes? I don't know yet. That's a good question. Are they going to put that out in the theaters sometime soon? Maybe charity events or something? Interesting how the 2.5-hour Army of the Dead is apparently the longest zombie movie film ever made. This leads me to wonder, what's the shortest Zack Snyder film, not counting his shorts like Snow, Steam, Iron, of course. Oh, I don't know. What is the shortest? I'd say it's either 300 or the Owl movie, I would say. Notice how Joker's voice catches when he says the girl. He's trying his best to sound in control. But when Bruce said still affects him. That's true. By the way, there's literally no reason not to allow for deleted scenes on a DVD Blu-ray. I always refer to things like that on the physical media. It's a bonus feature. Disney's perfectly fine with it. Why isn't Warner Bros? I don't know. I don't know. It's just weird. It's personal. Eric Blake, I think it's personal. Zack is giving a long string of riddles about the empty pod and Supergirl. I can't help thinking his response to "is Supergirl already in the DCU" simply means that Kara is referred to or thought of as the Supergirl as of right now in the DCEU. As for Granny Goodness, I doubt that in particular. A lot of the new gods are human. Orion has always looked more human than Darkseid, even though Darkseid is his father. However, here's an idea. What if, yes, the Kryptonian is a Fury, but rather than Grail or granting goodness, what if she's Big Barda? By the way, someone in the comment section who isn't a member says that in Zack's commentary on BVS, he refers to the Kryptonian of the empty pod as a he. Perhaps Mr. Fantastic, Orion? He did? I didn't catch that. Did he say he? I have to go back and watch that now. The funny thing is that both Aquaman and Wonder Woman 1984 are the way they are because of imposition from Jeff Johns. Now, for Wonder Woman 2 would have been pre-Johns, all we really know for sure is that Patty Jenkins was talking with Chris Pine about Steve Trevor's return. But as many have pointed out, Diana talks about Steve in Zack Snyder's Justice League as someone she's lost once. However, the happy ending montage of Zack Snyder's Justice League sets up Diana returning to Themyscira, and Patty's noted that that's an element of her planned Wonder Woman 3. Another, as I've noted before, is Cersei, the sorceress, Natalie Portman being the front runner for the role. So here's my theory. Johns had Patty shelve her idea for Wonder Woman 2 because it built off of the Snyder Cut, but he said to keep the return of Steve. Perhaps pre-Johns Wonder Woman 2 had Cersei bring back Steve as a way of weakening Diana. I have given you a second chance with the man who had your heart, and do not give something for nothing. Link that to Diana's return to Themyscira. You get Cersei back trying to take over. That's a cool theory. And I know I saw a lot of those different tinfoil stuff about her, definitely, but I don't know if that's the case. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I also started reading articles about Wonder Woman 2, and it definitely was a Jeff Johns thing. Like Patty and Jeff Johns built together from the ground up. So that's definitely a Jeff Johns movie for Wonder Woman 1984. And yes, you're right. In the storyboards, Diana was supposed to go to Themyscira. She was trying to find her way back. So. An Affleck Batman and Leto Joker would be so freaking amazing. Could happen after Zack Snyder's Justice League, just like Wonder Woman, Aquaman. Would love to see that before Justice League 2. Maybe after Ayer's cut would come out to really set up more of Leto's Joker. Hopefully, Leto is pulling for all of it as well. Oh yeah, he wants it. He definitely wants it. He loves being Joker, and he wants to restore the Snyderverse as well. I think the closest we may come to Zack Snyder's Justice universe right now looks like Black Adam. Well, thanks for that. So I put out the little post about disregarding the Zack Snyder's Justice League and the Batman for a moment, because I think the Batman is kind of its own separate. Like, which DCEU movie would you like to see most? And I think I saw Black Adam being voted the most. I'm also very excited for Black Adam because I think that's going to be a big movie. I think. And I'm finally getting to see Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, like, not pulling punches, I mean, like, he's always talking about the hierarchy of power is going to change, and he's like, and like, since 2014, finally he gets to be like, come on, show up. I want to see what that really amounts to. Power Girl. Oh yeah, I've seen some of that. It's like, well, it ain't Supergirl. I mean, it's Power Girl. But I don't know. I have to go back to BVS commentary to see if it actually said he. That's interesting. But yeah, the mystery continues. And hopefully we'll get answers in Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 and 3 when they restore the Snyderverse. But very much looking forward to that Hollywood Reporter. I'm so curious. I'm crossing all fingers and toes. It's good news. Good news, please. Good news. We could use a little bit of good news in our life right now in terms of the Snyderverse. So there you have it. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you absolutely love this daily dose of entertainment, news, and content, please click the like button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on, and I'll see you next time.